Good evening, everyone, to the GT World Series 2014. The first race of the series and, of course, of the season as well. We're here for the 6 hours of Westhill at Westhill International Reversed. And I'm joined here today by my fellow co-commentator and during the race, sometimes even jumping into the race as racer, Dominik Engel.
Hello.
So, multi-class action for 6 hours at Westhill. What are the first things you are thinking of when you're getting...
Well, let's say it's not my favorite track to start off the season on. With the car counts we have 12 GT1s versus 18 GT2s, which is, if you didn't notice, 2/3 GT2s and 1/3 GT1 for the mathematicians. Well, yeah, out there. And that makes it rather tricky, especially for the first couple of times after a start or restart, to get through that GT2 field as a GT1 unscathed, especially on a track where it's as hard to pass as it is here. Personally, I'm really not looking forward to it, but that is a different matter altogether.
Yeah, I guess the biggest problem for the field is going to be at the first time to get through the still rather compact field of GT2s, I guess. And with 18 of them, this is quite some task to do. I mean, 18 cars, that's, well, some leagues would kill for these numbers of entries. And here it's the GT2 class.
It's nice to see. It's been quite a while since I've seen that many cars on a track, I'll be honest to you. Especially we had the 9-hour race last weekend, which had 13 starters and 11 finishes, which is less than what we have here today, as you can probably tell. We had LFS Card, which had abysmal numbers. We had GT Masters cancelled as well as postponed almost, and finishing with 10 cars in the final race. So yeah, this is really a bit of a recovery to have a 30-car grid again.
I really must say it's in quite some time the largest number of cars I've seen. I mean, okay, I did GTI Trophy where we had, I think, 26 in Fern Bay 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. Don't remember quite. But other than that, in LFS Masters from virtualracing.de, the biggest grid was a UF1 grid with 20 cars.
So what a spectacle.
It was interesting because it was a city, and well, that car can only be some kind of spectacular in South City.
Anyways, to get back to where we are at even today, we've got well, as we said, 12 GT1s, 18 GT2s, but we've got an all-red front row in GT1, which is well, not due to the fact that Ferrari is on there, but the red cars are definitely up there.
And it also doesn't have anything to do with any form of communism or anything.
You're driving for the glory of Russia.
So, are you willing to give us the starting lineup, maybe for GT1, then I do GT2s?
Fine. On pole we have, well, some might have said it would be obvious to say that he would be on pole, but Tomek Nogdzic in the Number 03, My Free ID XR. Second is Otto Taskinen in the number 9, Genuine Racing XR. Number 2, Team Virus, Matthias Pikkarainen XR. Number 4, M5S Racing, Max Bartolotta. Number 8, Conquest Racing XR. FZR, sorry. Top FZR is 5th on the grid.
Let's do this.
Then we have number 7, also Conquest Racing XR, Milos Garbalewski in that. Daniel Gracia in the number 14, Scuderia Gas Racing Team XR, starting behind them. Then we have someone else who I can't see because we're currently beginning a session. Then we have, in fact, Dennis Lind in the Infinity Esports FZR, followed by Matthias Rommelfanger in the Last Lap Motorsports FZR. Then we have Asex Xaver Tehes in the number 05 XR. Mattis Linde in the Race Green Autosports 49 FZR. And then as the final runner in GT1, we have Racing League Romania in the number 19 Black and Yellow FZR, starting 12 out of 12 starters and competitors in the GT1 class.
GT2 is led by Core Racing in front of World Class Lions and Last Lap Motorsports. Those are the top 3. We've got 2 Core Racing cars in GT2, which doesn't make it really easy. So the 66 and the 77. In 4th position we've got Iron Club, 5th is Sonic Realms, 6th is the 66 Core Racing Machine, followed by FNC Sim Sports, so Fast and Crazy here from P7, ASEX Motorsports 55 from 8, 9th is R-Force, 10th World Class Lions, 11th Team Virus, 12th Mafia Racing, 13th Scuderia Gas Racing Team, 14th Absolute Beginners, 15th Team Virus, 16th Last Lap Motorsport, 17th Sonic Realms, and 18th the Wonder Girls.
And 19th, which is now 18th, is another Last Lap Motorsports car, the 72 FZR.
And we're currently taking a look from the back of Stuart Baker's car, who is leading the GT1 field, and who will pull into the pit lane at the end of the lap. The other group is led by Isaac Price in this car.
Remember also, this is the first double file start we've done since the last GT1 World Series race, earlier in April this year. The one field lining up nicely so far. Coming around the last corner. Everyone wildly trying to build up boost in those turbo engine XRs. Oh, what the hell is car 4 doing? What the hell was up with that? Car 4 just went without any signal.
So we'll try it another time next lap.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Yeah,
It's like
this is
half of the GT2 field haven't figured out it's a single file now.
And again, people try to get permission to speak.
Of course, this is gonna be another little, well, I'm not gonna say spice, because, well, if you've ever been driving on very cold tires after 2 pace laps, which are incredibly slow, you are not gonna enjoy it, trust me.
But this is definitely car number 4's error. That we have a second pace lap.
It was very peculiar. Everyone was holding station, and suddenly I see a yellow car all the way in the distance.
I wonder if race control is already thinking about investigating the scene, because
I think he just went at GT1 ready, or at the GT1 at GT2 double file or something.
so GT1 doubles up all again.
First thing in the season already went wrong, let's hope. Second time lucky, which is obviously not the saying, but, well, don't be bloody pedantic. Got Nogic, Taskinen, and Pikkarainen, top 3. Top 4 all in XRs. They should get a very good launch if they time it right.
The ready signal. Green flag, we're underway. 6 hours of Westhill.
Went instantly 3 to 4 wide on the front stretch in 2 rows. How are they gonna get through turn 1? And Bartolotta is gonna go around the outside into second place around turn 1.
GT2
Dennis Lind's gonna follow him.
Oh, and big crash in GT2. We've got cars everywhere. What happened there? We've got some cars left around the track.
It looks like it's only Mafia racing. And they're pulling into the pits, so they're out of danger.
Yeah, Mafia racing there. And big fight for the lead of the GT2 class. Contact already, but now Latimaki seems to have pulled away some gap.
And then now they're going 3 wide into the chicane for P2 and GT2. Marish backs out. Oh, and there's contact between Mayor and Walter gets the better of it and reclaims second.
But how did they stay on track, really?
The GT2s, they're going through that 20 times slower than usual, but still, that's quite dangerous. Not necessarily necessary for lap 1 of an endurance race.
But if you see through the GT2s, there are some cars with some damage. While it's only cosmetical at most parts, like for the 67.
If I'm already looking at the 71, that's quite a substantial dent in the right rear side there. someone who seems to have been caught out really badly by this GT2 start seems to be the 54 Virus car. I don't think it should be as far back as it is.
3 wide, Kingsbury, Wisniewski and...
They did it better. No contact between those two.
Let's take a look from on board the Kingsbury car. Oh, okay, that was just like...
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Wisniewski is not really giving me a trustworthy ping. It seems to be lagging now. Kingsbury got overtaken by the 62.
They're not going to do much trying to they're battling each other. They're not going to go anywhere like that.
But if they keep battling it, it's going to be very interesting when the GT1's flying by. Or trying to fly by.
Wisniewski lining up another one, 73 absolute beginner's car, round the outside this time. Got the move done before the corner. So not any sufficient overlap there for absolute beginner's car. Got to back out of that, and that's that job done.
Well, Wisniewski, one of the old names in LFS, actually.
So a bit of a battle developing around P3 and GT1.
With Dennis Lind and Pikkarainen.
Also, one way you can well, tell the classes apart on stream: numbers 2 to 49, that's GT1, 52 to 99, that's GT2. GT1 cars have the blue elements on the skin and the blue background, not blue, green, sorry, I was still in Pro and Am there. The GT1 cars have the green elements on the skin with the green number board background. The GT2s have the orange elements on the skin with the orange number board backgrounds, as well as a nice GT2 bumper strip or bar or whatever you want to call it.
Well, actually, so, as soon as you see the back of the car, you know definitely what class it is. At the latest. Of course, the sun strip in GT1 also green, and GT2 it's orange. So there are quite some ways how to get to know what car is in what class. Also, at the top of the screen you have this beautiful ticker showing you the latest tracker output. And we've got a battle. And Tuskinen seems to be through around Pikkarainen, and someone is alerting the admins.
Not sure for what though, because I can't see anything being wrong on the whole track.
But alerting the admins is usually if you're stuck in the gravel, so that the administration sees you earlier than they would if they just go through the list in the server.
Yeah, Tuskinen had to make that move for 4th place because he had a very bad start. He basically went backwards in turn 1 and throughout the entire first sector almost. So That's one bit of recovery.
I just heard. No, he's in public. I thought for a moment he was public now. I heard from the race control that car 55 was in the gravel, and that this might be the reason why another team alerted this, because it's fitting into the numbers. So the yellow flag was in turn 14, and the car who alerted the admins was in car 13 and 14. So turns 13 and 14, not in cars. That would be strange.
Well, I remain the opinion that one team's business shouldn't be any other team's business, but well, if some feel the need to desperately. Well, then it's not any help as well if you're alerting the admins and you're not the team that has a problem. Surely,
Yeah,
that's
true.
the biggest flaw in that concept. Surprisingly free of battles for this stage of the race. We're only 15 minutes in.
Yeah, with the grid teamed up, I thought, teamed up. Well, it was thinkable that there would be the one or the other fight, but for now it's rather silent here on track. Although we've got 30 cars racing.
Oh, we've got the GT1 leader coming up on 55, the last car in GT2 and the last car on track. First interclass overtaking maneuver. Oh, and he's getting him in a pretty bad spot. Oh dear, where are you going? And so will car 4. Car 4 will get him just before the last corner. Well, he's a few meters further away, which means the aero loss is not quite as bad, but yeah, it's not the best spot to overtake here, sector 2 and 3. Sector 1 is okay. Sector 1 you still break down from speed into relatively slow corners for the rest compared to the rest of the track, but sector 2 and 3 especially are very bad places to overtake and lap each other. We see Dennis Lind getting past the 55 car.
Rather easy because he went wide there. Also the Jenna car through and the virus car through.
If you're driving, well, not quite in a pack, but oh, I think Taskinen might have a draft on the number 6. Oh, Lind defends to the inside. And he dives quite deep. Whoa, that was a bit close there with the tyres, Dennis. You don't want to do that one too often. And now Pickerainen's all over the rear of Taskinen. Bumping action, that's not necessary.
And now
Lind down the inside of Kingsbury. Oh, that barely just fitted.
And there was contact reported by the INSIM system.
That was so close between those two. Well, it was very close because they touched, but I mean that could have ended in disaster for you. It's just the problems. If you are in a battle, you cannot afford to really yield and leave space, and just you cannot really afford to leave any time there on the table because you're just gonna hand it to another team behind you.
You really need to do the Yellen McNish style of overtaking, of overlapping.
What, crash into LMP1? Not LMP1, into a Ferrari.
That's the good thing, we don't have Ferraris.
And we don't have any LMP1s either, unfortunately. Please give us LMP1s and Ferraris, devs, kindly, your community.
I guess there would be something. And now we're, Lind is... Okay, those two GT2 cars were just fighting, so I had ahead is... Oh, and we lose Pickerainen.
Oh!
Okay.
Can get very close! Oh, and there got contact between 73 and 98 there. Just saw 73 get massively sideways. And now, well, we're not at the thick end of the GT2 class yet. This was only the back end. Now we have 3 cars at once here, which isn't true because there's only 2 of the other ones actually at GT1. Dennis Lind barely getting by the number 60 WCL car. Both of them got off the track in the penultimate corner. And Dennis Lind gets draft from the number 62 LLM car. But that's Taskinen down the front straight. Probably the most exciting thing we've had. Off the track goes the number... whatever number that is. One of them.
Definitely some car with a number.
I'm just trying to figure out which one that was, and turn 1 had to take evading action. Oh yeah, 76, yes, true. No, there's no car 76.
67, sorry, I was
yeah,
thinking
67. Oh, and Taskinen has the draft of Lind again. This time he has the inside, and they're coming up on 2 GT2s. Well, 2 GT2s, one of which is disappearing sometimes, which is, well, from experience, that should be Wisniewski.
Yeah.
And Taskinen's also passed Dennis Lind there.
Oh,
No.
The problem is every 10 seconds I see Wisniewski driving some strange lines or even hitting some walls.
He's not actually doing that because it's lag.
Yeah. But the problem is, if we see it, it's also somewhat it is.
Oh dear.
That was some style in this overtake with the trim.
For
67th off.
oh, yeah, that's quite an off for those tires. Was grained as badly as the soft tires in the Indian Grand Prix practice sessions. They're going straight to the pit lane, which is probably not the worst idea I've had a team or witnessed from a team. My language is awful today.
Could be worse. And Dennis Lind, Mattis Pickerainen and Otto Taskinen racing through the GT2s.
It's like a bad cop chase. We've also got Gaspar in front, that's the Scuderia gas car. Maybe it's the Scuderia Gaspar! Ha ha ha!
Yeah.
There are gonna be more this afternoon, gentlemen. Dennis Lind just outside the draft window. Well, not just. Well, a couple of meters are missing there.
Yeah, we're following both Lind and Taskinen with our camera kit. Mattis Pickerainen in the O2 car.
One of the few cars whose starting number actually is the finishing or the championship position from GT1 World Series. Which is in fact true, so...
And if I'm not mistaken, this whole group got very close to Bartolotta again. Or rather close.
Yeah, I think Bartolotta's in a bit of a bad situation because he's driving all in front there all alone in quotations has to wake up the GT2 guys, and then the three behind them, because they're driving closer together, they have a better chance of getting past. Oh, better, in quotations, better. And that's a retirement from Car 67. Congratulations on being the first team to retire. Bartolotta also trying to take the stream from slipstream from every single GT2 car he passes on a straight.
And take away the 3 minutes from the GT2 cars.
Whoa, Marish! No, don't close the door. Don't close the door. Dennis Lynn diving down the inside there. Well, it wasn't really a dive, but he was certainly not exactly giving meters away. Pikkarainen seems to be actually the guy who always gets the people on corner exits, which is what you don't want.
Well, if he would get the people 10 meters late, it would all be fine, but not right at the exit.
Stops you from getting on the throttle as you want, because you never know sure, oh, is he in front of me? Oh dear, someone's off there in the grass. That's the number 4. Oh, and Taskinen's right there in the Gen R car. Is it gonna be enough for a draft? Yes, it is. Very much so. Down the front stretch they go. Over the start-finish line. 274 kilometers an hour, which is quite some speed. And past he goes. Can he hold on to it through turn 1? No, he can't. Bartolotta gets him back! And there's contact between the both of them. Now Lind may just be able to well, take advantage of that, and Pikkarainen, who's right there! Well, probably didn't get a car on corner exit for once.
Yeah, because they are through the whole GT2 grid. Not nearly through, but the leader is just in front of them. So everyone else they have passed, and this means it's not that...
No! Oh god! Oh god! Oh no, that was almost that was almost foreseeable.
Yeah, and now Lynn is through on the inside. Pikkarainen tries on the outside. No.
He cannot pass through the outside on that corner, but he might just be able to. Well, he's probably, if he's smart, he's probably gonna stick back and just wait till the straight. Tries to get a really good exit through here.
And maybe use the advantage of the force mode. No, just kidding.
Force mode advantage. Force mode makes you 20 times faster. All the drivers you see here currently are driving with Forces View, because Forces View is the new speed hacks. TM. Yeah, that's basically how a lapping maneuver can go wrong if you're just not sure, am I gonna do it, am I not, am I gonna do it, am I not, am I gonna do it, am I not, and then it just, before you even know it happens, and then you cannot do anything anymore. He just has to live with the consequences, and Pikkarainen very close. If that's not a slipstream, then I don't know what it is. Taskinen blocks the inside. 55 gets a drive-through penalty in the meantime. But no, it can't hold on there. And 55 gets a drive-through penalty for overtaking under full course caution. Full course caution conditions, at least.
Next drive for Pikkarainen. But I
Too
think
far
he's
away
ahead.
for this.
Yeah.
Well, too far. That's quite a couple of car lengths too far.
New fastest lap by our race leader, 1:30.51.
Had quite a quiet afternoon after turn 1 so far. Well, afternoon, when I'm saying afternoon, when 1/12 of the race is done. Bad we don't have a night option, otherwise this would probably be a night race. Pretty much. Since it lasts till 2 AM CEST. For the last time this year we will have CEST here in CEST land.
Yeah, that way.
Because if you didn't know, the clocks are being put back in quite a lot of countries in Europe, at least tonight. Not tonight, but in the night from Saturday to Sunday.
Yeah, to be precise, when the clock reaches 3 o'clock, it's turned back to 2 o'clock. Exactly. Which has some strange things for people that have to work in the night. They are actually working 1 hour more.
Racist!
For people who are traveling by train.
But they're never on time anyways. They're gonna be on time 1 hour later than usual. No, they're gonna be not on time 1 hour later than usual is what I meant to say.
True.
A battle in GT2 for once between 7158, that's Virus and Scuderia Gas. Well, one of the Virus cars, the FZR1. Bit of a slidey slide there from Gaspar.
Slidey slide, but back on the straight.
Back in the slipstream. Feels a bit like this retard DRS zone they had at Spa, where no one wanted to be in front before La Source. Is it La Source turn 1? I think it's La Source,
yep.
Isn't it? Yes. Too many French corner names.
Especially in Spa.
And at Paul Ricard, and at Le Mans, and at some other tracks.
I thought Paul Ricard was just a Mistral.
Well, it has a chicane on it.
Next fastest lap by our race leader. He's now pulling away.
He was pulling away before. He's now just pulling away more than before.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right. I just wanted to ask you if you've seen that the tracker showed 4 hours something to go, but that's fixed already. So.
And now it says 5 hours, 20 minutes, 27 minutes and 41 seconds on my screen.
Yep. Ditto.
Which is roughly accurate.
It's more than accurate enough for what we do here, actually.
I'm not trying to build a bloody atomic clock, are we?
That would be something interesting. We've got a car off, car 19.
Oh yeah, that's 19, that's RLR. And they've, looks like they put a wheel off out of turn 1 and just 180'd into the grass on the other side of the track. Safely rejoined, not too much harm done other than the time lost.
Oh, that doesn't look very safe, actually, from the driver of the 19.
Oh, well, I've seen worse. Just seen 49 go on the grass to lap someone, for example, but yeah, well, ingenuity, that's what you need here to lap someone. Sometimes. A bit of imagination and wonders can happen.
Yeah, and
Big rainbow will appear on the horizon and all your dreams will become true.
and managed in off again. Back on track again, though.
Looks like something's wrong with that car or his controls.
Slight damage, but not too much.
No one's doing us the favor of actually racing somebody right now. Closest battle there is I think, or the closest group of multiple cars. Well, you could either have 71 and 88, which would be, I think, 6th in class between Scuderia Gas and Iron Club, or you could have 54 to 60, which is also a nice 3-car group, although 60 has fallen a bit back in the last couple of turns. Lots of these GT2 cars look a bit second-hand, actually.
Yes. On a not so important note, I have a car floating around the track.
That's 55. That's Dorelli for Mafia Racing. That's not 55. Sorry, that's 69.
69. So it's
55.
not me.
55 was the 55 was their number in the 9-hour race last week. Sorry, I got confused.
And our race leader is about to overlap the first car in his class,
which is the 19 RLR car.
Someone's timing out.
Well, someone is timing out. That's 69. Who is now truly invisible.
30, 31, gone.
Ah, there we go. First time out of today. Goes to Argentina. Rally back already though, and let's hope it's a bit more stable this time.
That was a pretty quick rejoin, actually.
My God, intentional timeout.
Well, I don't really think it was intentional. It wasn't really the place for an intentional timeout.
Yeah, obviously, but just to feed all the trolls out there.
Speaking of trolls, you can ask questions and post in the thread if you want. If you
Unless you're a troll.
Well, trolls may do post there, but they don't have to expect answers. Put it that way.
Well,
And maybe they experience the magic banhammer of some burning flame.
They get the red card, which is an infraction if you didn't know. Seen very few lately.
Yeah, true.
Seeing a red car though in pursuit of another car that's more green and greyish in pursuit of a kind of yellowy orange car, and that's second, third and fourth in GT1 but in the reverse order.
Yeah, I was... you got me for a moment. I was confused. I searched for the orange car, actually, at the back.
Always there for great effect. Whenever I think there's someone passing a GT2, I think, oh no, it's a battle. Oh no, wait, it's not a battle.
We're not really used to multi-class racing these days, are we?
No, the last major multi-class race that had cars in it was. Oh yeah, obviously the thingy race, the SO4 24-hour race last year.
Well, you have to.
Oh yeah, and the NDR Christmas event, which was of a sublime quality.
Yeah. Yeah, you remind me there of something I thought I had forgotten.
It started out to be an event, a failure of an event, when we forgot to move in the Simrates TV TeamSpeak when we started the stream, and it was just pure silence for like 15 minutes.
The biggest problem was that between the qualifying session and the race session there was one of these funny DDoS attacks. So everyone on the server was there, but I couldn't move the guys from the second server to the first server. Nor could I manage to get a race on the second server organized, so it was really no pleasant experience for anyone.
62 and 60 through the last corner there. It's WCL's numbers, well, 60, and one of the LLM cars, which happens to have the number 62 on it.
With tiny leg spikes, I may add.
Yeah, there are a couple, I must admit. I think, if I'm not wrong, wasn't car 62 a car that had all its Q1 times disallowed, or was that 72? There are too many cars with a 2 at the end.
That's a question. Just did the GTI trophy and looked at my teammates.
That's at least what it said in the thread yesterday. For Q2. I'm not sure what the situation with that is, because I think they were not allowed to use XR and meant to use FZR, and now they're in XR again. Okay, so that's a car off. That's the number 72 of Ray Kingsbury. Just had a nice and hard hug with something, because his right side suspension is, well, that's not even worth a stock car racing anymore.
Depends on how the definition of stock car is. If it's the original one, no. If it's the German one.
Yeah. Banger racing, where you drive a car until it no longer drives.
Yeah, okay. So the pseudo-German definition of it. More or less.
I think that's what banger racing should be about. It shouldn't just be lots of cheap cars driving around and, oh no, you put a scratch in mine! Oh, you get a 2-lap penalty!
Yeah, well...
We made it to the pit lane, so that's that danger gone.
A few weeks back here in Germany there was the show for banger racing, where, well, they are not really prominent people. They are
people who happen to be, whose names happen to be printed down in newspapers now and then.
Yeah.
That's what they are. And I mean newspapers of the quality as the News of the World or the Sun or the Daily Mail
This time for
your internationals.
Oh, Tuscan makes contact with Wisniewski.
Oh dear! But
Oh,
Wisniewski moved over to the right as well, so do not. Ooh! For me, he just went straight on there with his lag.
yes, that's Wisniewski.
Oh dear, that's just not safe. So don't expect him to not end up in a wall at some point.
Tuscan side by side with Pickle.
It might as well happen. They're being somewhat, well, hindered by the number 62 now. Anyways, it's well, it's about, well, not long until I have to get in the car, so see you in like 2.5 hours, everyone, when I will be no longer as happy as I am now, or happier, depends on what's gonna happen.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on you. Thanks for being here so far, and good luck for your stint. All alone out here in the commentary booth, and we've got the picture of Dennis Lind in front of Bartolotta. We actually missed how Lind overtook Bartolotta, but it's not like here, that there's nothing happening here on racetrack. But it seems like GT2 is stretched out a bit for now, so we don't have to expect any strange happenings there for the next couple of laps. The Infinity sports car slapping here through the traffic and losing pretty much Bartolotta thereby. Ryan Enberg has made some contact with the car to be lapped, but this group is now also very, very much separated. If you think of like 20 minutes back, we've had those 4 cars really in a door-handle to door-handle fight, and now they are, well, let's say 6 to 7 car length separated each other. But with the right traffic involved, I think there's a possible fight coming up soon here with Bartolotta and Tuskinen. But one has to admit that for now these fights are just not having the right influence on the general standings, on the overall standings. Also, we may expect the first series of pit stops in a minute, and Oscar. No, it's not Oscar, it's Otto Tuskinen. With the fastest lap. a 1:13.07. Ray Kingsbury causing yellow flags, also causing yellow flags. The car number 5. The 5 has been in the gravel and the chicane. And Wisniewski is not answering the server's call, so the next timeout of the day. And Morvi was already on the server. So the first sign of pit stops here. That should have been a regular takeover, and now Morvi is chasing the field at the bottom of the server list. The teams are not losing laps here for a disconnect, as long as the disconnect was not their fault. And if you want to end your race, you simply have to join the spectators on your own. Or you simply disconnect. But if you disconnect or spectate from the track, you will get penalty points. Just to give you the umbrella understanding of this whole scoring. Race leader makes slight contact with Remco Mayo in the GT2 car, one of the LLM cars, if I'm not mistaken. Soon he will overtake the leader of the GT2 class for the second time. So within an hour, and within an hour with an aborted race start and a second try on the race start, the GT1s actually can overtake or overlap the GT2s in 2 times, so this gives you some data about how the speed difference is. And it's not like that there are only slow cars in the GT2 class, which is still led by the 77 core racing machine, with Latinmaki here in the lead. And now being lapped by Najed. Gabalowski, wrong way in the pit lane. What happened there? No, he's not finding the pit box. Now he is. The Conquest racing car was suddenly wrong way in the pit lane, at the pit lane entry. Don't see any skip marks there, but that can be due to the fact that and out he is. The Conquest car with one of the first pit stops here in the field. We've got another car with 2 pit stops. That's the Last Motorsport machine of Ray Kingsbury, who's been in pits 2. Puncture for the 04 machine. And he is turning into the pit lane right away. So that might be a late revenge on the, well, jump start, or however you want to call it, on the first try of the start for the M5S Racing team. Rather early pit stop nonetheless, and now we've got some cars scheduled to join the pit lane. Or to come into pit lane at the end of the lap. The next drivers of the 02 and the 49 are on the server already. 02, that's the virus machine of Pickerainen. And Mikey Heumiller is taking over that car in a bit. Also Matthias Linde in the pit lane, who will give the car to Ronnie Krompusch. Otto Tuskinen in the pit. He'll give the car in a bit to my co-commentator of, well, 10 minutes ago. But one has to wonder, it's a rather short first stint all in all. All 3 GT1 cars are now back on track again. Kirstelo is also joining the server to take over the 03 of my 3ID Gaming. Just a side note here, while trying to take over the car of Tuskinen, or the other way around, right after Engel was given the car, Tuskinen started a kick vote against Dominik. Who won't be happy with that, for sure. Looks like we have the first scheduled pit stop in GT2. Oh! Because of a puncture, it's not really scheduled. 71 has a puncture. Gaspar is turning into the pit. I wondered why they would make contact with another car on the inlet, but obviously a puncture is a good reason why to contact with another car during that lap. So not really good for them. having the hazard lights on, and now departing from the pit stall and back on track. They didn't repair damage. It's not like they have much, but for the first meters it looked like a very, let's say, it looked like if they were driving on X. So the Scuderia gas racing team back on track. We do have some other drivers here in the server. So there should be the one or the other pit stop soon. Yes, Talca for core racing on the server. And the fast and crazy crew just out of their pit stop. Slatev takes over from Velnikov. Race leader in the pits, new race leader Dennis Lind. Where does my 3ID come out? They come out in third position and there's a car off. That's Ray Kingsbury. 05 left front puncture. So quite some punctures here already after one stint. 05, that's A6 Motorsport. Terrace has to be... Oh, and he's off. Left front puncture in the right hand corner. That's not really helpful there, and now he's got both flat. The whole front axle is a puncture. And Terrace now finally made it to the pit lane entry. Next car with puncture, car 14, final sector. And it's in the gravel. And this is stuck. Scuderia Class Racing Team. That's, well, it's starting to get out. Safety car is standby, but it seems like Scuderia Gas doesn't want to let it come to a safety car. They've changed the control methods. Slowly they are moving in the gravel tab. Now we have to wait. It's taking some while until they are out completely. They are actually turning They're actually making a circle. So now they try to get forward out of it. Very dangerous place actually, where this car is at the moment. So we have double waved yellows. And now there is the push car helping the number 14. Garcia is helped on... Don't go right away on track, are you? Oh, it's spinning! But at least it's on the grass, not in the gravel. Oh dear, that's some spectacle. Oh no, it's... You can't jump on the brakes when you have such an unstable car geometry due to the puncture. Very digital effort there. Really showing much of control, but at least the car is now in the pit lane. And with the car pitting, new 4 fresh tires are put on the car, so this should continue and we stayed without a caution. It also is the last car from GT1 to have to go to pit lane, or to have pitted. So after the first series of pit stops, we do have the following order in GT1. Infinity Esports in front of... no, stop. That's wrong. We've got my 3ID in front, followed by Infinity Esports. Dominik Engel in a fight with Mackie Heumiller. So the battle between Virus and Jenna here. Drive-through penalty for number 61. That's the GT2 car of World Class Lions, who apparently speeded in the pit lane. Conquest cars are battling. Kovalevsky and Goik at the wheel at the moment. Ooh, late dive there by Kovalevsky. Not sure if there wasn't contact with Durelli. The problem was that there was some lag involved, and I see them flying through the air. It's not really fun to look at it. It's Gablowski and Goik as well, and car 60 timed out. That's Katila. That must be World Class Lions. The number 60 World Class Lions car. We also have 2 World Class Lions cars in the GT2 class. Unfortunate. Jumping ahead again to my co-commentator's fight. car 60 is still driving. It was the exiting driver. Okay. Yeah, car 6 is still driving around. So everyone who supports the world-class lines, they are still in. And the car is currently placed in 8th position, which I saw timing out. The other car of them is currently in 4th position. But they have to serve the drive-through penalty, which they are now. Very colorful car there. They are back on track. And should be in 5th or 6th position. Should be 5th actually. So the battle between Dominik, Engel and Maki Heimele seems to be the closest one. So far, by the way, if you have the feeling that I pronounced the name wrong, you are welcome to actually post it in the thread and put it in a way so I can simply read it out with no problem at all. And Heimele was stuck there behind 57 and well, that car only has one way to go, and Dom was really clever there to not let Heimele take an outside move. So it looked like a bit dirty, but we can ask him later on. He should be out of the car in 1 hour 50 or so. At least that's what he says. "29 cars racing here." Oh, that was close with the LLM car. Well, 29 cars here on the track, and quite some speed difference between GT1s and GT2s. It's a method how to avoid overtakes simply by using the traffic. the driver's car back in a position where he can at least feel the slipstream, not that he can use it yet. It sometimes is a very strange feeling if you get this slipstream at a late moment. Nice to see that there are slight differences between the lines they two are taking. Dom is not that narrow on the apex of the corner, unlike the virus car here. Not in striking distance so far. We've got a slow car on track. The absolute beginner's car. They had an off somewhere. But now there's traffic. Dom and the virus car have to take on. Dom only lost there some meters, it seems. It's going to be interesting to see if those meters are already enough for Macchiamolo when they come to the start-finish straight. So on board with the virus car. Turn 1, a rather tricky place to get the right braking spot, as you have to brake into a corner. Then he had the uphill chicane, where 55 does some service for the virus machine. Side by side into this twisty hairpin, and it's a place for virus. Then we've got a fight in GT2 with Slaughter from Fast and Crazy and Veha Push from the team with the number 88. That is Iron Club. So, looking at the GT2 class, we've got Core Racing leading in front of Sonic Realms, Last Lap Motorsports and Team Virus. Fifth, World Class Lion, followed by Iron Club, Fast and Crazy Sim Sports, Last Lap Motorsports, R-Force and Scuderia Gas Racing Team. That's the 71 of them. And further on, we've got Sonic Realms with their second car, 98, in 11th position. Team Virus, World Class Lions, the 60 car. Absolute Beginners, Asex Motorsports, Mafia Racing, and Last Lap Motorsports in last position. That's the 72 of Last Lap Motorsports, so the car with Ray Kingsbury. No longer taking part is Wonder Girls, who just did some few laps, then retired. Not starting today were Savage Sim Sports, the 56 machine, nor the 66 of Core Racing. Dom said earlier that depending on how his stint goes, he'll be... well, this will influence his mood when he returns here to commentary booth. For now, he lost the position, lost the podium spot, which I doubt will be a reason to improve his mood. We've got troubles with 73. Or better to say, 73 has got some troubles. Absolute Beginners with a... well, Dom called it second-hand car, I wouldn't even get it as third-hand. Oh, they run wide. One may not forget that this is not really an easy track to drive at. It's got pretty high average speeds, and as soon as you... we've got a battle. '98 and 71. Featuring this battle is one of, I think it's the only FXR I've seen. So they are a rarity. They should be protected by law or something. Not many of them here. On the other way, it's really a unique feature of LFS that it features, well, a GT class car with all-wheel drive. As per FIA rules, I think they are forbidden. At least this way of getting power to the track is, and they are really making something out of it. You've seen there that little bit of extra traction in comparison to the XRR in front. But the car lacks top speed sometimes. It's also a very tricky task when you have this car to balance it in a fair way. On the one hand, you want to have equal chances for everyone. On the other hand, this car is, in comparison to the other two, easy to drive. But again, if something is easy to drive, this doesn't mean that it actually means there are many fast people. It just means that oh, Pardo with a wiggle, and this is used by by the 98 Sonic Rams car. Who took the 10th position with that move. So if you're tuning in and see this race and want to know more about the standings and what exactly happened, Tracker is a good tool to actually see what happens and what happened. For example, that we've got an overall fastest lap of 1:29.96 by my 3ID Gaming at the end of the first stint, and that the GT2 class is about 5 seconds slower. The fastest lap by Virus was a 1:35.15. So if you want to take a look at Tracker, go to tracker.neardimensionracing.com. There you find it. There you find it tracking the race as it is, and it is live data. You get there and you can take looks at who drives for the teams. You can take a look at the laps they are doing, and also the qualifying grid positions are mentioned there. Just some corners ago, Iron Club made a little mistake, and now it looks like the 53 of Fast and Crazy Sim Sports are catching up. This is the actual distance between the cars. bridge now into the final 2 corners. Due to the fact that GT2 cars and LFS are more or less customly made by restricting GT1 cars, or GTR cars to be precise, GT2 cars have tons of downforce in comparison to their actual power output. So pretty much they are made of aerodynamic itself. Car 72 was giving... Ray Kingsbury gave the car to Pardo, no, sorry, to Santos. Looks like Slaughter Where Kupos actually found the status quo. The gap stayed at around 0.8, 0.6, 0.7 the last couple of laps. Slat have lost now on the last lap about 0.5. Other than that, we've got plenty of lappery going on. But yeah, it has come down now for a bit. That's the look on Yassi Telkla, the leader of the GT2 class in the Core Racing 77. only one core racing car here racing, although there are actually 2 cars signed up for GT2. The other one is the 66, the FZR, if I remember it correctly. There's quite some gap to the second car, the 99 of Sonic Realms, driven by Westhill. And yet another rather big gap to Nathan Lamorth, who is 3rd in class. During the LFS kart season we talked about him, in particular his improvement over the last couple of years. The first memory of him I obviously have is the round 1 of the 2009 LFS kart season, where he flipped in Kyoto 2. He was suddenly ending up on the backstretch into oval. Whoa, we've got a car off. And that's Morvai. That's the Virus GT2 of Morvai. And this doesn't look good. Safety car is standby. Morvai is alerting the admins. Rescue car is on its way to help. Trying to solve the situation without a caution. And there's a group of cars coming, but after that group there's some gap, so that rescue car could move over the track. There we go. And there is the help for Morvai. And so he's out of the graveyard. It didn't turn out to be a graveyard for them, but they are out of it. That's the most important feature thing for them. Let's see if they go to the pit lane. Yes, they do. No, they don't. For a moment. The reason for car 54, for the virus car being out there in the sand, was a lack of contact with the GT1 car. That sent them off and caused the trouble. Dorelli is in the pit lane. He's out of order because... no, he's not out of order, he's out of sync because he is not... well, I wanted to say that he's on a very different strategy because due to the timeout cost you. Nice. Anyways. If you have any questions or any improvement suggestions or anything in that particular direction, you can go into the LFS forums under General LFS discussion. There is our thread, GT World Series 2014, Round 1 broadcast live, 26th of October. There you can say what you want, cheer for the team you want to cheer for, root against other teams, and tell us your opinion about the race, your questions about what happens, or simply say that you're watching. Always welcome there. And if you have questions, I try to ask them as soon as possible, as soon as I see them actually. The race is actually, or the teams are participating. We're talking about different IRC communication tools, because the one or the other had problems with connecting to IRC. Other than that, there's not much of a chat in the races department, so no interesting background stories developing there. Some people saying sorry to other people, that's majority of it, or again, people asking how they can use IRC. We've got a Team Virus fan in the forums. That's interesting. Of course, the commentator told to cheer for a team, so I'm cheering for one. Good job there, Mouseman. So we actually know that he is cheering for Virus. Taking a look. How is the Virus positioned at the moment? They are in 3rd position in GT1 with Mackie Heimler, who overtook Dominik Engel some time ago. Then of course we've got Morvai here displayed, who had this tragedy in the sand. And another virus car in GT2, the 58, currently in 5th position. So 3rd in GT1 and 5th and 15th in GT2. That's Team Virus at the moment. Pit stop, Garbolowski for the number 7 Conquest Racing. Gorzelani is leaving the pits. Never heard of this name before, so this is quite new for me. Falling back to 7th position. Niki Dakovic joining the server. He'll be in the virus car in a bit. The green car entered the pit lane. Also the 04 car of M5S Racing. Pit lane. Niki Dakovic on track. Let's see where he comes out. 5th position, it seems. And Bartolotto came out right behind him, though not directly behind them, but in the position behind them in 6th. So the all Italian squad there. still with Bartolotta, taking now his third stint in a row. And what is kind of interesting to see that the GT1 XRRs can't get more than 55 minutes, it seems, in a stint. So there is a likely chance of a splash of fuel at the end of the race. Wisniewski joining the silver again. To take over from Morvai. Morvai stays out another lap. So, before the whole action of pit stops are starting, and as I say so, Dominik Engel joins the pit lane. We do see his car here. New tires, new fuel, and out of it. With this picture, I leave you alone for a second. There will be the traditional stream cut to actually manage the sizes of the file. Thanks to Jonathan Palmer there, who is actually playing my little bird here in the background and telling me things I don't see. So, little break. We'll see us in a second again.